the time watching this, I thought SmackDown was gonna get a bit better. I thought SmackDown was gonna get a bit better, a lot bigger, because it's a go home show before the Royal Rumble, and I was expecting a lot more in this fucking show. Did I get a bit? Sure, for the WWE title, because currently Daniel Bryan is the biggest star. Because Asuka can't speak a lick of English, and she hasn't been taken seriously since 2018 to 2017 and 18. None of the mid carders could actually be interesting. We have an overbaked tag division, and Samoa Joe is not having a championship. Where the hell is Rusev with the U.S. title, and he's supposed to be feuding with Nakamura over the past few weeks? None of this is brought up. Because this is going to be in the kickoff show, because they don't care about their own damn pay-per-view. They only care about the Royal Rumble. The female Royal Rumble, even though not much is built up, except we know that a few NXT women are going to be involved. So we started off with Becky Lynch coming into the ring and bringing up her opponent, bringing up the crowd, how she's been taken since her new phase as a heel now, as a tougher, brooding woman. She's wearing leather and shit. And as much I want to see Becky Lynch succeed, and I think this is the best direction for Becky, I'm still not going to take her seriously. As much as I don't want to say that, I want to see her succeed. I want to see her actually be called the man, like a tough guy gimmick. She is a strong woman. She's tough. A woman that can probably lift some 200-pounder up. It's just not going to get that over. Especially against her opponent that seems like the challenger out of Asuka. And then you had Charlotte Flair coming and being the instigator for no apparent reason. Just so you can manipulate and fighting until the backstage segment. A few single matches later. And then later on we had a singles match involving Naomi versus Mandy Rose for a lackluster feud. It was alright. It ended with hitting her on the electronic ring post. And one of the Usos came to, make her feel a little bit better. Yeah, I don't know where they're trying to get with this. Even though that Mandy Rose was already exposed, so why still bring him into the ring? I know they're just going to have a kickoff match, or at least just handle stuff in the female Royal Rumble, so it's no point of having that feud anyway. Next up was Miz versus Cesaro. They were trying to bring up so much sympathy. And they know that Shane can't wrestle full match consistently, so they had the Miz going against Sheamus last week on SmackDown, and then this week in the middle of the show, even though Sheamus and Miz was the main event of SmackDown. Why? Because they don't know how to make good main events on SmackDown, even though they have the best time and the best way how to do it. So, yeah. This is an alright match. I had a few. Yeah, what would you suspect? I've seen these guys wrestle for years against each other, so not much except the post-match assault that accumulated with Miz getting hit on the table and Shane getting road kicked. And they're trying to show Mr. McMahon there for sympathy, even though Shane has survived a lot worse than a kick to the fucking jaw. So, yeah. Next up was the promo involving a face-to-face confrontation with AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan that was brought up by Vince McMahon in over interview. Bring up who's going to be the challenger for the WWE champion, even though you already know it was AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. So no point bringing this up so they can just have their last word saying that so they can get a hit. And even though the promo was okay, but so predictable that we're feuding. While Samoa Joe's trying to get heat, how come he wasn't brought up to the feud? Could have been an alright triple threat match if they were trying to do it. But they now have him feuding against Mustafa Ali. And I understand he's trying to get his foot wet into the WWE, but he's one of your best top stars. But it was okay. I think it was pretty good word exchanges from Daniel Bryan. How corruption, how the delay of the fan base have been. I think it was a pretty good promo. I thought it was really good. A good exchange of words. He wasn't trying to drag it on. He wasn't trying to drag his own catchphrase into it, fickle, I think he says constantly since he turned heel. I think this was a pretty good promo. Ended up with AJ Styles trying to chase down Daniel Bryan until a high knee happened when they got back into the ring. I thought it was pretty entertaining. I thought it was a pretty entertaining way how to end up the show until the pay-per-view. So luckily for that, we might have a pretty entertaining match, better than what happened at TLC. That didn't have a stipulation match, didn't even have a fucking ladder match. That should have made more sense. But this is a rematch, so obviously we're suspecting AJ Styles to lose. Because I think they're trying to go high water to make Daniel Bryan a captivating wrestler. Because he hasn't shown up in the ring in like 3 years. So obviously they're trying to give him a reasonable WWE title reign since beating AJ Styles for it. Back at SmackDown before Survivor Series. Next we have Mustafa Ali versus Samoa Joe. This was alright. I thought there was some physical moves by Mustafa Ali, obviously. I'm not going to hold you down. Mustafa Ali is incredible. He's an incredible athlete. I have to say, I've never seen so many good flips from Mustafa. And it just ended off Samoa Joe defeating Ali off the Coquina Clutch, and it was pretty entertaining. It was a pretty entertaining match. I understand they're trying to get this big guy, bully character out of Samoa Joe by just beating midgets. He beats up on Daniel Bryan, he beats up on AJ Styles. And Mustafa Ali, you barely even see him dominate against a better guy nearly his size. I'm just saying, not that impressive, even though Mustafa Ali is incredible. Mustafa Ali has to get something going instead of the stupid ring entrance he has. And his flips. It takes more than that. I'm just saying, it just takes more than that. It takes more than just a few flips and a little flashy entrance to get you guys somewhere. That's why 205 Live is getting the notability it has. Even though I've heard it got some good matches 2018. And maybe a few good matches this year. It's still not impressing me. So if Mustafa Ali wants to make an impact and he wants to show that he's actually good, I want to see something more coming out of his mouth, than his wrestling moves. I'm just saying, promos exist for a reason. It's to show how you stand in the WWE. And more than doing those awkward in their match promos, before the match promos, make a real promo. Right? Whatever you have to say down, do it to your opponent. Do it in an interview before a match, not after a match, not in the middle of a match. Before a match. I want to see what these guys can do. The main event was Mustafa Ali. I mean, fuck, Andrea. Because Andrea Cien Almas isn't a good name. You have to always shorten these guys' names from NXT. Sorry, Apollo. Oh, no, it's Cruz, isn't it? So, the main event was a pretty alright. It was a pretty alright 2 out of 3 falls match. Both men took the fall until Samoa Joe came out of nowhere. There's a few botches. Rey Mysterio, I think he was trying to go in a poor call by Corey Graves. He tried to call the reverse Frankensteiner or Hurricane Rana. Even though Frankensteiner is, flip move, while Hurricane Rana is called a Hurricane Rana for a reason. I thought you've seen enough wrestling. I thought you saw Rey Mysterio wrestle before. I thought you guys would be, more credible to be calling what a Hurricane Rana and a Frankensteiner is. Sorry, that's just a big pet peeve. You need to be good at calling wrestling moves. It can't be Michael Cole and just have a rugged loose leaf paper of 20 moves that you set up, that you have written down since 1997. 2000, I don't know when Michael Cole started commentating. And it had Randy Orton coming out of nowhere and attacking Samoa Joe with an RKO out of nowhere because we obviously don't know where the fuck Orton been and where the fuck the New Day been because they're going to be also attending the Royal Rumble. Nothing that built up that much for the female Royal Rumble involving SmackDown. There was a backstage segment involving Charlotte and Carmella. Bringing up what they're gonna do, Carmella also had to. This is supposed to guy that's supposed to be number 30 in the Royal Rumble. Why R-Truth? Just so you can make a big thing appear. You could ruin R-Truth's chances. He's been treated as this retard for years. Not since 2015 when he always gets stuff wrong. Since 2011, and he's a deranged psychopath. That's what you're trying to show R-Truth as being. Is when he's in the WWE for over a decade now. Pretty poor. The match could have been so better for Almas and Rey Mysterio, but there was a few botches, and I thought the match. If you have moves that are too slow or too predictable, you're gonna get a 5 or a 6 out of 10 for me. And I thought the SmackDown was a 5 out of 10. I don't know if this can be better. I think this is still gonna be better than Raw, because Raw had their own problems, and I'd rather have a few botches in the show and at least some decent promos than whatever the fuck is dragging on Raw for 3 hours. Stop with these 50-50 booking matches. I swear to God, it didn't work. For just Cesaro to assault Miz and to just show that, Shane is old as fuck and he really can't compete. And I don't know why you have Miz, former WWE champion. You forgot that ass still exists to compete for the tag team titles. Don't you think that downgrades his career? The guy was feuding with John Cena. He had a tag match involving The Rock and John Cena. The guy used to feud with Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Dolph Ziggler. Now you have him in tag matches with Shane McMahon. He just got distracted, kicked to the face, and then a neutralizer. That's pretty much the finish. I didn't want to bring up anything else up because it was disinteresting. The match was forgettable. If you've seen WWE for at least 5 years, I don't have to tell you how a match like that can end out. This was a pretty alright SmackDown. Unlike Raw, it actually had pretty decent promos. That's pretty much it for me. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I thought SmackDown was a bit better than last week. A bit, but it was better than last week. Raw review coming up soon. See you later.